Hey, good morning, Roger.
Morning, Kev.
What are you working on for us today?
I have a homeowner who has a beautiful bed of juniper that grass is starting to invade. So we're going to help him get rid of the grass and then show him how to install some steel edging so that grass will never get in his bed again.
Oh, that sounds like a good one. We'll be sure to check back in with you later. Well, good morning. I'm Kevin O'Connor, and welcome back to Ask This Old House, where if you've got a question about your house, we'd love to hear from you. So send us a letter or an email. Hey, good morning, Richard.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing all right.
What are you up to today?
Well, I've actually got to catch up with Tommy because we're working for a homeowner who's decided it's time to take out their old laminate countertops in the kitchen. And we are going to show you how to fabricate some new ones. It's just plywood and laminate. It's short money, but it can make a big difference.
Who doesn't want to have nice new countertops?
Who doesn't? Looks like we have got a couple reasons why we want to replace this countertop, Tommy.
Yeah, we sure do. Right here, let's start at this miter. It's a terrible job. It's uneven. It's open. Water can get in there, ruin the countertop below and the cabinet itself.
Mm-hmm.
And look back here. There's a big gap in the wall. Water, debris can get stuck and go down behind the cabinet. This should have been scribed tighter to the wall.
All right, so counter goes.
Right. While we're at it, we might as well replace the sink. I've already disconnected the plumbing and the brackets for the sink, so it should pull right out.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Oh.
All right, let's pick up your end there, Kevin. Pull it right up above the stove. Slide it right over.
It's going to come out in one piece, looks like.
Watch out for that picture on the wall there.
All right,
Okay.
there you go.
Does that watch out for the ceiling?
Hey, look at that. You can see the damage caused by the water.
Oh, yeah. See that miter was leaking? It leaked around the sink. It damaged the countertop. It's all falling apart. What I like to use for the countertop, Kevin, is a plywood. This is an AC plywood.
Meaning we've got one nice smooth side.
Right. It also has an exterior glue, so you don't have to worry about any moisture or steam.
Good for underneath the countertop.
Right. Now make it tight to that wall. All right. Nice
Pretty
and
tight here, yep.
Okay. Now to make the countertop a tight fit against the wall, I could set my scribes a little wider than the gap and follow the wall with my scribes.
And then you could just cut along that line. You'd have a nice tight fit to the wall. So is that what you're going to do?
Well, I could, but there's a couple of things I need to accommodate for. First of all, I want to have a 1/4 inch overhang on the cabinet.
So the plywood should come beyond this cabinet side by about 1/4 inch there.
That's right.
Okay.
So I lay the countertop back down, and I'm going to slide it over just about okay, I'd say right about there.
Right there.
Okay, now I have to allow for the thickness of the backsplash, because the backsplash is going to go between the wall and the end of the countertop.
And it's just another piece of this 5/8 plywood.
Right. So I take the backsplash, push it tight to the wall, and follow right along the leading edge.
So now we've actually created a line that takes into account the dimension of the overhang and the backsplash, as well as the irregularity in the wall.
Right, so I only have to make one cut. Now, the countertop fits tight against the back wall now. It was pretty straight.
So we don't describe that.
Right, so what I want to do is I want to slide the countertop forward and make a gap for that backsplash to drop into.
Okay, that's
All right,
it.
now I push the countertop back tight to the wall, and I want to make sure that I'm on my scribe line here. Okay, it's right there. We're tight against the back. Now I want to cut the countertop to allow for the overhang from the face of the cabinet to the front edge of the countertop.
And what's your overhang going to be?
It's going to be 1 inch across the front here and across the front here.
Okay.
So I set my scribes at 1 inch, and I simply mark right across the face of the cabinet. Now I just connect the marks and make the cuts. All right, let's see how it fits. Right up against the backsplash.
Right
That's
here.
good. Okay. Now I cut a piece to finish up this end over here. Okay, everything fits good. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to build up this edge. I want to make the countertop look thicker. To do that, rip down some strips of plywood. I'm going to attach it to the underside of the sheet and go all the way around the perimeter with those. Now we got a countertop that's 1 1/4 inches thick. We're fixing these plywood strips to the underside of the countertop using 1/4 inch crown staples and glue. All right, countertop is all built, and underneath you can see around the perimeter are pieces, and right here is a splicing piece that joins the two pieces together that we needed to add next to our stove.
Okay.
And this piece of laminate right here is 5 feet wide. It's custom ordered.
This is not something they stock at the home center. This
Nope.
was a special order, but it makes a lot of sense.
Right, we're not going to have any seams in that countertop. All right, now you notice when we unrolled that roll, Kevin, we unrolled it slow because it could actually snap and rip.
Okay, so now you're ready to cut, and it's just a rough cut to start?
Right. What we've done is we've overhung the piece in the back about 1.25 inches.
Yep.
And the same thing on that edge there.
Gotcha.
And now I'll cut it with this trim router, and this is a bearing right here that'll ride against the front edge of the countertop, cutting the laminate with this cutter part right here. Now, I didn't cut it flush on the back here, and I didn't cut it flush on the back over here. And that gives me enough play to work with the sheet. With the remaining piece, we're going to cut some oversized strips for the backsplash and the edges. Now we're ready to start gluing on the laminate, and we're going to start with the edging. And I'm going to use a spray-on contact cement around the perimeter. Now I spray the laminate, and I also have to spray the edging of the countertop too. And when they're both dry to the touch, then it's ready to stick on. To make a nice tight bond between the two surfaces, I'm using a J-roller. I'm going to use a laminate trimmer and trim the laminate flush. Now we're going to use a belt sander to true up this edge. We put the edge on first. When we put the top on, it will overlap the front edge.
In addition to a new countertop, we're also getting a new sink, so we've got to cut a hole for that.
Right, I've taken the template for the sink, and I've centered it over the cabinet below, and now I'm ready to cut the hole with a jigsaw. I glue the laminate down to the wood countertop using a contact cement, only this time we're going to roll it on. Because there's contact cement underneath the laminate and on the countertop, we only get one shot at putting this down.
Right.
So we've laid some dowels on top of the countertop, and that will allow us to position the laminate. We want to have an overhang all the way around, Kevin, so it should be about a 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch down that end.
Yep.
All right, now just hold it for a second. Let me check it over here. All right, that's good. We've got an overhang all the way around. Now you've got it. Now don't let it move now. I'm going to pull a couple of pieces of dowel out. All right, now I'm going to put it down easy. All right, now I'm going to start sliding the dowels out and working my way down towards you. All right, Kevin, now we're ready to cut the hole up for a sink. Now the edge of the countertop can be pretty sharp. To ease that edge and really smooth it out, I'm simply going to file it off. To seal the edge between the backsplash and the countertop so no water will get down there, we're going to caulk. Now we just screw the backsplash to the counter. You ready? No, don't go in too fast now. There you go. All right, Kevin, I'll pick it up. A few dabs of sealant on the top of the cabinet will hold the counter down.
Okay.
Okay, you ready? All right. Okay. Now we're ready for the sink. To seal the sink to the countertop, we're going to run a bead of caulking around the opening.
You got it?
Yep.
Watch my fingers. Hang on. Come up. And.
Make it straight with the front. You got 1 3/4 there. Now measure the same part of the sink right there. How's that?
Nice job, Tommy. That makes a big difference in this kitchen.
Nice finish, Tom. What did that material cost?
Wasn't bad at all, Roger. The laminate, the plywood, and the adhesive was right around $200.
$200. That's pretty good.
Not bad.
Yeah, you know, you can even go cheaper. You can go to the home center and you can get a pre-fabricated laminate countertop. Now, there are some limitations. There's going to be a miter. You can see it right here. So you'll see this seam. And, of course, if water gets between that, keep in mind, this is particle board beneath, and, well, we already saw what happens to particle board when it gets wet.
Right.
Another thing to think about, too, is these are factory-cut miters, so when you put these two pieces together, you're going to get a true 90 degrees, but that doesn't mean your wall is going to be true 90.
Right. Lots of times the walls aren't 90 degrees. But right here in the back of these countertops, they actually give you this little filler strip. That allows you to scribe across the backsplash if the wall's not out too much. When you scribe that, I would suggest cutting that with a belt sander. Just make sure that the belt is turning down so you don't chip the laminate.
You know, I noticed you actually cut the sink opening out of the plywood before you put the laminate on. I've never seen that before.
You were paying attention.
I was.
I've learned from years ago that once in a while, a jigsaw can chip the laminate. So I like to pre-cut the hole first, then lay the laminate on, cut the laminate with the trim router.
That's a very good tip.
Yeah, and it made a big difference when those counters went in. It was a good-looking kitchen when we were done.
Nice job, Tom.
Almost looks good. All right, guys, I know this is going to give it away, but it's all blue.
Thanks for telling us. Thank you.
You're not kidding,
Next,
Tom.
it's got this steering wheel right here with this little ball on the top. Another giveaway at the bottom, there's this piece of rubber here that's round. What is it?
And blue, too.
I got this one, guys.
You got it?
Blue, right? Think blue?
Yeah.
Think law enforcement.
Law
Sure.
enforcement?
Lawn care law enforcement in this case.
What?
Oh, yeah. So a lot of people got problems with gophers, right? And there are a whole bunch of ways to get rid of them. But they don't always end well
Sure.
for the
Oh,
gophers.
well,
This is an alternative. It's actually a way to let you negotiate with the gophers.
He's
You
right on
find
here,
them
Kevin.
and- oh, there they are.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you can talk to them. Hey, guys, my name's Kevin, and we've got the yard surrounded. Now, this can go one of two ways, so why don't you show a little sign of good faith and send the little ones out?
I don't believe this.
They want to play.
No, they can't have a fight.
What are they going to do with that balloon?
That's terrible.
That is pretty terrible. All right, anything to do with solar is yellow.
Yeah.
Anything to do with lunar is blue. Because this is actually a lunar collector. You just set this down right here and you set it to the direction of the moon. It's best with a full moon. And this actually collects lunar energy and turns it into electricity.
And why do we want to collect moonlight?
Night lights.
Night
Let's
lights.
heat the stairs, let sure.
That's worse than his.
No, well, we're getting better.
Well, you haven't heard this one yet. Up until a few years ago, guys used to have metal detectors on the beach. And I mean, they were making a good day's pay, going around getting all the pennies, sometimes even some jewelry.
Oh, but
No
hey,
more.
No one carries money anymore.
That's right. What do they carry?
Plastic.
Plastic detector. You go along the beach, and before you know it, beep,
Grab it.
beep,
Look at
beep,
that.
beep, beep,
It's like
beep,
a
beep.
tractor.
Oh, look at this.
Hey.
Boy, I made a lot of money
Hey,
today.
give me that. Give me that. You guys are really bad. Remember I told you blue?
Blue,
That was
yeah.
the key?
I remember that.
Think water. Blue, water.
Yeah.
Swimming pools. I forgot about this little tube right here. You connect this to your skimmer of your swimming pool. When you turn on the pool, the thing vibrates, goes across the bottom of the pool, and actually automatically cleans your pool, sucking up all the debris, putting it into your skimmer.
You're not kidding, Tom.
I'm not kidding.
Well, this is not going to end well for the classes. What's wrong, Roger? You seem a little bit on edge.
Me? I'm not on edge, but edging is really important to a garden. It can give a bed that nice, crisp look and keep grass from going into the mulch or the mulch spilling onto the lawn.
Okay.
Now, you can use almost anything for edging. Here's some cedar that's been cut with an angle on it and then held together by this thin wire on the back. Now, it's nice and decorative, but it's not going to stop grass from growing through or mulch or stone from coming through from behind.
So decorative only.
Right.
Gotcha.
Now, this is a piece of plastic edging. We see a lot of this around. When it goes into the ground, it's held in by these little flanges in the bottom, and it has this high-profile edge on the top. So you really see that high-profile edge. But in the wintertime, when the frost pushes up on this, it'll pull it right out of the ground. You'll have to reset it in the spring.
Doesn't sound like you're a fan of that.
Not a big fan, no. But I am a big fan of cobbles. I love any type of stone for edging. I mean, you look at those and line them up. The sheer mass will help hold them in the ground, and just a great look for a bed.
Yeah, I agree. It's good looking.
Now, you can even use brick. You can take and put them in a sailor pattern, which is shoulder to shoulder on the brick. Then you can take some more brick in a running bond and make a mowing course. You could run your wheel right along the edge. A nice, clean look.
And you've also brought us some metal samples, too.
Right. I really like the metals. This particular one is aluminum. You can see how thin a profile is, but yet it's strong, and it'll hold back whatever you want to retain. It has these pockets to drive the stakes down.
Gotcha.
Now, here's my favorite, this black steel edging. This is really heavy. When you put this in, it's going to last forever, and again, stakes to hold it in. When you want to make a curve, it's very easy to bend, but they've also set up a system where if you have to do 90s, they have ways for you to make them.
Gotcha. So do you use a lot of the steel?
I use a ton of this. In fact, we just had a homeowner who had a problem where his grass had grown into his juniper bed and he couldn't mow it anymore. So we used the steel edging to help him fix the problem.
Nice.
Steve, this is what grass would look like if you've never mowed your lawn.
Okay.
It would actually get up to be about 18 inches tall. I'm going to pull this one out. You can see how the stem grew up, and as it got older and older, finally it set all these seeds on the very top. Now, all those seeds are going to fall down into your juniper, and you're going to get all new grass growing from the seeds.
Okay, well, that'll explain why I'm getting patches through here. When it originally started here, that seed is blowing into here.
Right, that's part of your problem.
Okay.
What's also happening is it's spreading even further by rhizomes. If you follow the main stem down, you see the root system, and this is called a rhizome. It comes out of the bottom of the plant, it'll go underground for a little bit, and then turn up and form a whole new plant.
Oh, I see. Well, this is causing me a lot of headaches and a lot of backaches. What can we do to remedy this problem?
Well, the first thing we're going to do is going to be mechanical. We're going to edge the bed.
Okay.
Now, to make the edge on the bed, we're going to use a half-moon edger. What we're going to do is just go up and we're going to create a line on the bed. So we're going to pick a spot, drive it in as deep as we can, and lift up. Don't flick that stuff up into the bed, because if you do, it'll just root there and create more problems.
Gotcha.
So just pick a spot with me, and we're going to make a straight line. What we're actually doing, Steve, is defining the edge. So on this end, I'm going to wrap this around so that it meets up with the driveway at a 90-degree angle. That looks good. Now what I want to do is remove this grass to create an air barrier between the lawn and the bed. And I'm simply going to pry it up, take it out of the bed, and put it in the wheelbarrow. What we've actually done is dug a trench. Now that trench is going to create airspace between the lawn and the bed. So what's going to happen is, as a plant starts to grow, the little rhizome is going to come out and try to go into the bed, but because of this airspace, it's going to dry out and die, so we won't get any more growth into here.
Perfect.
The trick is to maintain that edge and keep a nice, clean-looking bed line here.
Okay, and what are our options for that?
Well, the first option is to use a string trimmer. Now, most people use a string trimmer horizontally like this. But when you go to do this maintenance, you're going to turn it vertical. You're going to come right along that edge and keep a nice, clean edge all the way down.
Okay.
Now, another way is with a physical barrier. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to install a steel edging.
Hence the trench. Nice.
This is the steel edging we're going to be using.
This is pretty heavy-duty stuff. Where do you get this, Raj?
I got it at my Landscape Professional Center. Cost about $4 a foot. We have 50 feet here. We're going to use $200 worth, but I think it's going to be well worth it. Once it's in place, it's going to make no maintenance on the edge of these beds. What we're going to do is slide it in place and curve it. And if you grab the end up there, pull it in. I'm going to take and line this up the driveway, and that's where we're going to start. At the end of each run, we have double pockets in which these steel stakes will go in, and they'll allow us to join two pieces together because it overlaps the next one. But here next to the driveway, it helps me out because it's going to make sure that when I bang this steel stake in, it's going to hold that down below the edge of the driveway. Let me show you how these two pieces of steel join together. If I take the top one and line it up with the bottom one, now you just put the stakes through the two pockets and they'll make together. All right, let's see how our last piece fits in. I'm going to drop it in. You got your stakes. There you go. Now, the steel edging is going to keep the grass from your lawn from getting into the bed.
That's great, and this looks great, but what about this grass that's already growing in here? What do I do about that, Roger?
You could come out here and pull forever, and you'd never get it all out of the bed. So I want to treat it with an herbicide called glyphosate. All right, that's a non-selective herbicide, meaning whatever plant material it touches, it's going to kill.
Including my junipers?
If you got it on the junipers. If you came out here with a sprayer and got it on the junipers, yes. But we're going to apply it in such a way that it only gets on the grass.
That's great.
Now I fluff up the grass so it's standing nice and tall, and then I'm literally going to go and paint the herbicide just on the tops of the grasses. You don't have to go down all the way down into the roots. So you start, don't wait for me. Now the way the glyphosate works is it blocks an enzyme that's important in a chemical reaction for the plant to grow.
Okay.
By using these foam brushes, we're applying the absolute bare minimum amount of herbicide and still will get good results. The other thing is you want to make sure you put it on a dry day because we want this herbicide to dry on the foliage, not get washed off.
Okay. How long does it take for it to kill this grass?
It'll actually kill the grass in 24 hours, but you won't see the browning, the results, for 4 or 5 days.
I will have to pull that up by hand once it's dead?
Nope, it's all going to decompose.
Nice. Oh, this is great. Now I'm going to keep my grass in the lawn out of the juniper. Thanks for your help, Raj.
It's going to look great.
Hey, a hand-painted lawn, Roger. Pretty labor-intensive.
Got to do what you got to do, right?
Isn't there something you could spray on there?
Well, you can. We could have sprayed the glyphosate on there, but if it got through the grass and down on the juniper, it would have killed the juniper too.
Homeowner would not be happy.
Not at all.
How about an organic option? Is there one?
There is. Sometimes we'll use a vinegar compound. The vinegar actually burns whatever it touches. But unlike the glyphosate, it's not going to kill it down to the root system, and you'll have to repeat that application probably 3 or 4 times.
All right, so some good tips. And if you've got questions about your house, we'd love to hear from you, so keep the letters and the emails coming. Until next time, I'm Kevin O'Connor.
I'm Richard Stewart.
I'm Roger Cook.
And I'm Tom Silver.
For Ask This Old House.
Glyphosate. Glyphosate.
Very careful with that.
So it kills on contact?
If you have a question about your house or a tip you'd like to share, please let us know. Visit our website, pbs.org, for expert advice, step-by-step videos, and much more. Next time on Ask This Old House, the guys ask, what is it?
This tunes up your golf ball, and if you do it right, your hook stays a hook.
Sort of a dimpleator.
Guys, this tool belongs outside.
That's next time